center, a sophomore from Silver Bay, Minnesota, number 29, Jake Stadler. At lightweight, a sophomore from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, number 24, Joey Lucius. On left defense, a graduate student from Leduc, Alberta, number 23, Eric Mosey. On right defense, a freshman from Laconia, Minnesota, number 55, Max Roman. And in goal, a sophomore from Lincoln, Nebraska, number 30, Jacob Morgan. The head coach of Nebraska is Reed Fuller. He's assisted by Kane Berenstraw. And now the starting six for your Missouri Tigers. And left wing, a junior from St. Charles, Missouri, number 16, Ethan DeGrove. At center, a sophomore from Black Carbon, Illinois, number 89, Brad Grafstad. At right wing, a freshman from Jefferson City, Missouri, number 17, Thomas Bonetsky. On left defense, a freshman from Oak Mountain, Missouri, number 19, Bryce Huglo. On right defense, a freshman from Oak Park, Illinois, number 3, Brandon Chen. And defending your Tigers goal, a sophomore from Oak Mountain, Missouri, number 30, Joey Christopher. Your Tigers are led by head coach Michael Smith. He's assisted by John Lamont. At this time, we ask you please rise if you are able and remove your hats as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Washington Park Ice Arena for this game between two heated rivals, the Missouri Tigers and the Nebraska Cornhuskers. I'm Owen Becker, joined alongside me wearing two hats, producing and providing color, Ian Paprocki, and as always, our lovely own Robert Preble in the PA booth. This is Missouri's first game since playing that tournament in Nashville, that SEC showcase last week. Not a particularly great tournament for the Tigers. They were able to defeat Auburn in overtime, a goal from Thomas Bonetsky, but they fell to Arkansas and to Georgia. And so now they're looking to refresh, reload as they're back in their home stadium for the new year and get a solid win over the Cornhuskers.
Yeah, got off to a rough start, or a good start, rough ending in the SEC Frozen Showcase, but have to feel good to get back on home ice. First home game in Jeff City for a couple of months here for the Tigers tonight.
And an absolutely packed crowd. I'm sure you guys will be able to see on the camera. This is definitely the most people we've had here at Washington Park Ice Arena this season. Strong start to the 2026 calendar year. There's Bramstead, a turning shot, couldn't get through traffic. That one ejected out of the zone, and chasing are the Tigers. You might notice Missouri wearing some new uniforms. They debuted those last week in Nashville. A nice black with a very interesting shiny gold number set. Very, very nifty. I'm not sure how much that shiny gold comes up on the camera, but it sure does look good as this puck is chipped high and into the netting. We've got our first stoppage of play.
Yeah, Vodnansky and Beach met there near the boards. Both teams trying to ramp up the physicality early on.
Definitely. This is a Missouri team that's going for a lot of balance in tonight's lineup. I mean, they've got Blake Houston, who is the leading goal scorer for this team. We saw him score a hat trick here a couple months ago. He is on the fourth line. This is not a demotion. That is really, I mean, the Tigers are trying to roll out 4 balanced lines against an Arkansas team that has a really strong first line or even a strong top 6, but doesn't have necessarily the depth that this Missouri team does. As Arkansas is able to come away with this in the battle, there's a shot from Decker, and that one goes off a glove and into the netting. A good chance for Decker, and Joey Crisfell with a strong save.
Yeah, no, when you talk about the depth that this Missouri team has, I think what makes it so impressive is the youth, the freshmen, the sophomores on this team. And, you know, that has to give you a lot of optimism as we enter January and February. Guys that were, you know, a little bit more in that learning process in September, October have gotten acclimated to ACHA hockey, and now they're getting ready to go for this final push.
Not just that, but I mean, this is the healthiest we've seen this team in a while. They used that winter break to all get healthy. It feels like the first time that the majority of the players have been in the lineup. Nobody is out with injury. I know a few players are dealing with some nagging stuff, but there's a shot and a save made behind the net, and the net is kicked off its moorings, and so we'll have a whistle. The Huskers are buzzing a little bit. So they'll go for a change. Missouri's going to keep that same unit out.
Oh, and we made it a whole minute 33 before the net came off tonight.
It's always that net, isn't it? I don't know if I've seen the other one ever come off its moorings. Maybe a couple times. It's always that one. You know, I would say the over/under is probably like 3.5 for net coming off its moorings. We'll see. As Jack Krogan tripped up, isn't able to get the puck. Arkansas will retreat, and here's a breakout pass. That one to Krogan, chipped in, and now played by Morgan. Or was going to be played by Morgan, but he said, never mind, I'll go back to my crease. This puck's thrown in, and now the Missouri forwards will go for a change. One-on-one kicked out, but Jeremiah's held in, and now Brennan Chin, the defenseman. He's been solid this year, stepping up when his team has needed him, when guys like Zagorski were down in Division III and guys like Uglo were either hurt or suspended. He's been a very positive addition to this Missouri team this season. Aaron Hemmer back at forward. He was playing defenseman a little bit when Missouri was shorthanded on the blue line, but he's back playing his natural position at left wing. There's some contact in the corner. Physicality ramping up a little bit, and Nebraska comes away with it. Puck into the neutral zone. It's Carapella who is trying to make something happen right off the bench. Good two-way play from Carapella, and they're able to walk away with it. Now Hemmer's got it, gets this one up to Chin. Chin at the blue line. There's a shot, laser kicked away. Rebound save. Chen calling for it. Brennan Chin. A great opportunity, probably Missouri's best offensive opportunity this game, and now both teams will get a well-deserved line change. Here's Prest working his way in, high shot, that one doesn't go. Some contact near the bench, but the Tigers are able to keep the puck in. Walking right out with it is Missouri before it's tucked away by a Nebraska defender. But here's Zitzman. Zitzman with the puck. He's working his way in, shooting, scores! What a goal from Zitzman! This game is 1-0 for Missouri. A strong start, and the crowd is feeling it tonight.
Well, Owen, you always love to see defensemen working into the play, getting to the front of the net. And that was really the first time I think that we've seen Missouri get into the middle of the ice in the offensive zone. Nebraska's done a good job defending so far in that middle portion of the ice, but Zitzman takes his opportunity, sees some open ice ahead, and puts a nice move on Morgan to open the scoring.
Absolutely, and I wouldn't really blame that on Morgan. I mean, Zitzman was able to just walk right in, but here's a chance. Nebraska trying to respond immediately, and they nearly did, but Missouri's able to get it out. Now it's Carapella entering. Houston had to give it up to not get called for offside. Houston and Uglo getting the assists on that goal. Two revelations for the Tigers this year is that kick save made by Christoffel and kicked into the net, into the netting, that is.
I think a strong first shift there for Nebraska following the goal. Always like to see how teams respond after giving one up, especially early in the game. A couple of opportunities, now an ozone draw.
Absolutely. I mean, you felt so much momentum after Missouri, scored that goal, but you can just absolutely sap that by just getting one right back. And Nebraska, Nebraska. Too many saws. Nebraska almost did there. There's a chest shot, save made. Reaching was Christoffel, but the defense was able to get it behind the net before Nebraska could put in a rebound opportunity. Ian, I'm all over the place, man. Look, they're both rivals. They're both red, and they're both from states that have a lot of corn and a lot of emptiness.
Hey, I hear you.
It's ridiculous. Decker with a shot blockered away. Krogan is checked into the boards. That one goal is great, but obviously this period is not over. It's barely even started, and so Missouri's got to keep the pressure up as they'll go for a change. Luke Watson, the freshman, getting on for, I believe, his first shift, and he has been an absolute offensive revelation this year.
He sure has, and it like that last shot might have fooled Christoffel just a little bit. He was trying to steer it towards the corner, I believe, and got caught up in his equipment. He'll take the whistle, but I think it maybe took a little bit of a weird bounce at the very last second. Luckily for Missouri, it didn't cause any harm.
Faceoffs won by Nebraska. The Tigers have consistently struggled in the faceoff dot this season. I would go as far to say that first loss to Wash U here at Washington Park Ice Arena a few months ago was almost entirely because of the Tigers' inefficiency in the faceoff dot. They lost about 80% of the draws. And that can really just sap a team's momentum if you don't get that handled. Hopefully that's something they've improved on in the last few months, though, as Morgan plays that puck to his defenseman. That one chipped high, caught by Brennan Chin. Chin is leveled at center ice, or at the blue line, but he's able to get up and shake it off and goes right back into dishing out some of his own physicality.
Yeah, McRae just woke up that entire Nebraska bench, Owen, with that hit.
I'm not sure how well it comes across on the broadcast, but Nebraska is a large team, physically speaking. McRae, one of them, but I mean, they got some tall, imposing players. Kind of reminds me of Oklahoma State a year or two ago when they weren't that fast, but they had just huge guys, and Missouri really had to work to try to match their physicality. I wonder if we'll see similar things today as Nebraska works in. Played behind the net of Christoffel. Tried to funnel that one short side, but a good job by the Missouri defense. Chipped that one out. Now it's a foot race for the puck. It's going to be won by the Tigers. Big shove, and Nebraska will come away with it. Uglo, good job working with Zitzman to box out the Nebraska forward. A nifty move right there from the goal scorer, Zitzman, and he's got a chance here. Backhand, tried to go for a backdoor pass, but it didn't quite reach its target. 2-on-1 for Nebraska. Fires a shot, saved by Christoffel. There's another shot, blast and blocked. High shot, that one can't get through traffic. And another nice block from Uglo. Uglo tried to work around, but he's leveled at center ice, and Nebraska's going to walk right back. It's Lucius. Lucius centering off a skate. Here's Beach. On the short side, shooting, and that one didn't go. It hit the side of the net. It tossed the water bottle up. I thought he might have beaten Christofel there, but it just hit the side of the net real hard. What a shift from Nebraska, though. I mean, the pressure in the offensive zone, then the physicality, you get the puck back and put a few shots on net.
Yeah, Beach with the big hit there at center ice. I do want to go back, though, right before that shift. How about Nicholas Zitzman? I mean,
oh, yeah.
He's been the best player on the ice in these first 8 minutes. Not only the goal, but comes back out, shows off the speed, able to get back on defense, too. I mean, he looks like he's just a step ahead of everybody right now.
Yeah, I mean, you rewatch this first period and you eliminate the goal from the highlights, and you would still probably come away with the conclusion that Zitzman's been the best player, not just for Missouri, but on the ice in general. See if he can continue that. Here's Graum. Puck fired all the way down, and it's Houston who was sitting on the other blue line. A home run pass. A backhand from Carapella blockered away. Carapella still with it, tried to put that one on, but it goes off a skate. 1-on-2 goes Decker, gets some reinforcements. It's a 2-on-2 entering the Tigers zone, works his way around the defenseman, chips this one on, and a save made by Christofel. And a little pushing and shoving after the play, and here they go. We had a great view of that. There's definitely be some penalties coming out of this as the refs try to break them up. A Nebraska player, I couldn't see who, fell right after the whistle was blown. I think it was just incidental contact. They didn't hear, the whistle had just blown. And a Nebraska player, that was Decker, took exception to it and laid a nasty cross-check right into the back of a Missouri player.
Anytime you get some scuffling right around either team's goaltender, both sides start to lose their cool a little bit, exchanging some pleasantries. And yeah, I'd have to imagine several players from that group are headed to the penalty box. They talk things over right now.
Rudman and Weber representing their respective teams with the officials. And only one person's in the box, and it is Decker, who laid out that cross-check. I mean, if I'm the official here, I would assume that these are not incidental penalties. I think it's going to be a 2-minute minor for either unsportsmanlike or cross-checking after the play, and it's going to be a power play for Missouri, would be my guess, and it looks like that's what it's going to be.
I'm surprised there was only one penalty out of all of that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of understood, like there's going to be a scrum and some fisticuffs if someone on your team gets cross-checked after the whistle like that. It did seem like Decker really just was the instigator, and everything Missouri did was just in response, so it's a 5-minute. Look at the board. That's a 5-minute cross-checking major. So this power play, brought to you by Gumby's, if it scores, Missouri is going to stay on the power play and score as many goals as they can in this 5-minute span of time. Nebraska, after their best shift of the game, nearly tying it a couple of times, takes that penalty, and now they're going to be shorthanded for the next half of this period. Here come the Tigers going in with speed. Watson at the blue line, sends this one over. Shooting, save made, and a clearing attempt. Good keeping by Uglo briefly, but Nebraska's able to recover and fire this one down and get a change. Tigers will also go for a change. Rudman hopping off the ice. One of the co-captains, Aaron Hemmer, going to take his place. So here's Houston, the leading goal scorer for the Tigers. Up to Jack Krogan. He sends this one over. One time from Uglo is wide. They know they've got all the time they want. Krogan swapping with Uglo. Shooting this one, save, maybe going for a deflection in front, but couldn't quite get it, and it's cleared out, and there's 3 minutes and 43 seconds left in this penalty.
Well, and this Missouri power play has been so dangerous this season. I mean, they've got one of the best power plays in the ACHA, converting at 50%. But when you look at Nebraska, one of their strengths is the penalty kill. So this is a very intriguing matchup here for the next 3 minutes and 20 seconds.
There's a good chance, and that one goes high. And you know, Missouri's getting their good looks on this power play, but they're kind of getting one and done here. You know, walk in, set up, shoot, doesn't go clear, and you'd like to see them get some more sustained pressure, really wear Nebraska down. Don't let them change lines. Zitzman sends this one over to the dot. Pass on, and that one doesn't go on the tip-in attempt. DeGroat keeping this puck in. Bramstead and DeGroat will pursue. Puck at the blue line by Zitzman, the goal scorer. Zitzman with it once more. Sends this over to Ethan DeGroat. DeGroat, top of the circle, looking. Can't quite go. Shoots it. Off a body in front. Here they are hammering away at the corner. Back to Zitzman. Zitzman, a nice pass over. Back to Zitzman. Zitzman sends this one to DeGroat. DeGroat to Hemmer, and he is just thrown down. 2 minutes and 15 seconds left on this power play. Arkansas, Nebraska, good, oh my, shoots it. Zitzman. DeGroat. It's been about a minute and a half since the Cornhuskers were last able to get it out of the zone. And here's a jam-in attempt, and finally a whistle, our first actual whistle of this power play for Missouri. And with 1:48 left, I mean, it's a brutal penalty to take if you're a Nebraska fan, but they've done a great job killing this penalty off. Bend but don't break.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the game's not going to be decided in the first period, Owen, but if you're Missouri, you're feeling the pressure right now. I mean, you've got to come away with at least a goal here on this power play. But so far, Nebraska, credit to this team. They have been able to take away the shooting lane, get in front of the net, and it's forcing Missouri to pass to the outside. They just haven't gotten the looks they've been hoping for.
There's another good clear. Blake Houston will grab it. And yeah, I mean, obviously the game is nowhere near over, but it does feel like a big squandered opportunity if Missouri isn't able to come away with at least a goal on this 5-minute power play. As now they're struggling to even break into the offensive zone, as Watson will get possession and try to reset. Working to the outside, and he's going to get in. Luke Watson, the freshman, sends this one up to Uglo. Uglo back to Watson. Bit of a diamond shape on this power play. There's a one-timer from Watson, and that one goes wide. Held in by Krogan. 50 seconds now remain on this power play for Missouri. A slap shot clears it all the way down, and Nebraska will get a much-needed change as Joey Christfeld plays the puck for his defenseman. Houston, a nice pass to get it up to Hemmer, and he's going to work in one-on-one. Shooting, and a good job by Hemmer to create a little space and get that shot off. And we've got ourselves a whistle.
So we got a hook on the Missouri side.
Yeah,
Houston's going to go.
That's a fair call. I mean, when I saw it happen, I figured it's not an intentional play by Houston. He's just trying to go for the puck, and he ends up getting his stick in the legs of a Nebraska forward and trips him up. So that'll do it for the power play for Missouri. They've still got 29 seconds left on that penalty, so it's going to be 29 seconds of 4-on-4 before Nebraska will get their player back and have a minute and a half of a power play. But here's a break for DeGroat. We've got a whistle. 16 seconds left on that initial 5-minute major for Nebraska.
Tell you what, Owen, the penalty kill is as advertised for these Cornhuskers.
100%. I mean, there have been a few strong penalty killing teams we've seen here at Wash Mark Ice Arena. Wash U stands out. Oklahoma State certainly had their moments, but nothing as organized as Nebraska as they're jamming away here in the blue paint. Christoffel does a good job covering, and a man goes down in front well after the whistle, and I think we might get a penalty here. I didn't see quite what happened. It wasn't anything big. It was Lucius going down, and
yeah, Christoffel covers the puck. Lucius gets up in his grill, and Carson Weber took exception to it and just shoved Lucius to the ground, and he's going to head off to the box.
How the tables have turned. A 5-minute power play for Missouri. Things looking pretty bleak for Nebraska. They kill it off, and now it's going to be a minute 21 of a 5-on-3. This penalty kill for Missouri brought to you by Harpo's. It's going to be a 2-minute roughing minor, and there's a one-timer and a big save made. That was certainly a flashy flick of the glove from Joey Christoffel.
That was athletic, going from right to left, right at the top of the circle. The shot came, and Christoffel with the quick reaction time.
Should I just be like, Ian, chat, can we clip that? Can we get that highlight, chat, please? We got to manually clip the highlights here. Here's Beach. Top of the circle, he's got some room. They tried to go tic-tac-toe, Hemmer, but he can't get it out, and he's frustrated with himself. He fanned on that clearing attempt. Shot in close, kick save by Christoffel, and finally cleared out a big clearing attempt. Missouri will be able to get a change.
Hemmer made up for it there.
Yeah, he did. There's a dangerous cross-ice pass, but it couldn't quite connect and cleared out once more. Your 3 penalty killers for Missouri. Zagorski was one of them, but he just changed for Zitzman. So it's Zitzman, Rudman, and Brennan Chin. 3 very strong two-way players. Here are the Cornhuskers working their way in. Decker, who took that 5-minute penalty, is on the ice as well. There's a backdoor chance. Decker couldn't put it home. A diving attempt to keep the puck in, but it doesn't go. And as the first penalty ticks off the clock, it is now a 5-on-4 standard penalty kill for Missouri for the next 35 seconds.
Decker's going to be seeing that one in his sleep-o, and he was right next to the net at an open cage and wasn't able to put it home.
Yeah, that's one that'll that you're going to haunt. That's going to haunt your nightmares. You're going to want that one back if you're Decker. 20 seconds on the penalty kill, and a near chance short-handed for Missouri. Kind of out of nowhere was DeGroat.
Yeah, just sloppy in the defensive zone from the Cornhuskers, and Ethan DeGroat took advantage. Uses his speed to steal the puck away, gets right in front of the net, and how about Morgan with a big-time save to keep it a 1-goal game.
We talk about momentum all the time. A shorthanded goal is probably the thing that gives you the most, and after killing off a 5-on-3, I mean, that would have been huge, but it doesn't go because of a good save from Morgan, and so it's still 1-0 Missouri. 10 seconds now on this penalty kill. Maybe one last chance for Nebraska, but they are not able to break into the O zone, and so they'll just skate back. This penalty has expired, and so after all of that, though, the major and then the 5-on-3, no goals have been scored, and we're back to even strength. First time we've been even strength since about 10-10 left. There's a shot right into the chest of Christoffel. Good body positioning by him, and he'll freeze it. Missouri will use this opportunity to get a proper line out there instead of the hodgepodge of penalty killers and guys exiting the box they had before.
Well, and if anybody tuned in to learn how a good power play works, this has not been the period for you.
However, if you're doing a school assignment on a good penalty kill, this might have been the period for you. I mean,
yeah, it works both ways.
Yeah, for both ways. Solid performance from both squads on the PK. Missouri hovering around 75% on the penalty kill this year, so you'd like not horrible certainly, but you'd like a little bit more, and a strong performance in this period.
I wish that was my homework, Owen.
I know.
Just study penalty kills all day.
Oh, I gotta watch sports before midnight, dude. I'm screwed. So we've got a whistle here. 3 minutes and 18 seconds left. A very eventful first period. The goal from Zitzman still the difference maker. It's 1-0 Missouri. He scored 3 minutes into the contest, and since then a lot has happened, but no goals. Walsh and Zagorski, the defenseman, out. Walsh has been another guy that's really had to step up when not many guys in the lineup were healthy, and he had to play up in the lineup and certainly met the challenge.
I've loved Walsh's game. Another young player who's really adapted.
Yeah, and that really has been the kind of the theme of a lot of guys this year, especially on the blue line. I mean, you showed this blue line roster to me last year and asked me, who all these guys are. I probably don't know most of them, but they've all almost become, namestays in this lineup in just a few short months. As Nebraska's McGinnis gets hit by Krogan entering the zone. Nice job spinning around. Contact was Zagorski. Zagorski, of course, is you've tuned into a lot of D3 broadcasts. You know that name. It's probably the one we're saying the most frequently. He was, whenever he was in the D3 lineup, was just absolutely eating minutes, probably 30 minutes a night for Missouri, and doing a great job of it. A 3-on-2 if the Tigers can hurry. A great job shedding off the contact right there. And there's a shot in a glove save. Rebound and another save. Finally, Nebraska's able to clear it out. They're going to try to throw that momentum back the other direction. Shot saved by Christoffel. Turning, here's a great chance and broken up by the defense of Missouri. That was pressed with an excellent defensive play to clear out the front of the net. Not a lot of neutral zone play here. These two teams are in a foot race, just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. You have these teams feeling each other out for the first few minutes this period, but since then, I mean, they've been trading blows in the offensive zone.
There's a good chance for Preston Houston trying to connect, but that one doesn't quite go. It's shot just above the bar. Nebraska with the puck now. Good defensive play once more by Uglo, just continually inhibiting Nebraska's ability to gain any speed off the rush. Brennan Chin with a good play. One minute and 5 seconds left in this period. Missouri definitely comfortable going into intermission with a 1-0 lead. After Nebraska's played this period, they would really like to tie it up, but now here's a chance. It's Aaron Hemmer working and shooting, and a save made as a Nebraska player goes crashing into the net. I guess, well, he said that I've never seen that net come off its moorings, or rarely have, but there you go. That one's warranted, though. I mean, a man went head first into it. He did not have any room at all. He was absolutely blanketed and was still able to get a good chance off right there.
Yeah, that's a tremendous save by Jacob Morgan. Holds his ground as Hemmer goes to the backhand, able to cut off the angle and, again, keep it a one-goal game. It feels like Missouri could have 3 or 4 goals in this period, and Morgan has just been outstanding.
Absolutely, he has, especially in this last 5 minutes where he has had to make a flurry of saves.
Decker a little shaken up on the far side of the ice there, Owen, for Nebraska.
Well, yeah, he's definitely been an impact player in this game. Definitely a guy with a little bit of bite and ferocity. I'd like to hope that he's not injured. We've got a whistle with 15 seconds left.
He kind of went down awkwardly into the corner boards and skated off to the Nebraska bench. Luckily not a super far skate to that Cornhusker bench, but we'll keep an eye on that for sure.
Yeah, it's number 88 for Nebraska, so we're going to watch for that. And there's a Nebraska player in the box. So we're going to get a brief power play, 15 seconds in this period. If they don't score, the rest will roll over to the second. This power play is always brought to you by Gumby's. Face-off tie-up taken by the Cornhuskers, but Uglo comes away with it. 8 seconds left. Zitzman with it. Trying to get one shot chance off here. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, shooting, and it's good! It's a goal! With 0.7 seconds left, the Tigers have scored! And it's Luke Watson, the freshman from Kirkwood, Missouri. Oh my!
Whoa, and that's great recognition You know time's running out. You just got to get it to the net. Some traffic in front. And Watson throws it on goal and doubles the Tiger lead just like that.
Power play marker with 0.7 seconds. And we know the clock here can sometimes be a little finicky, but that was a genuine goal before the clock struck 0. That was not one that came in after. I mean, that was pretty clearly scored with some time left in. Wow. I don't think we've ever seen that here before.
Yeah, and on the Nebraska side, you always hate giving up those last-second goals. That can take the air right out of a team because you're so close to getting to the intermission with the game 1-0, and then all of a sudden the Tigers able to score a second there with just 0.7 on the clock. But again, just the heads up, the awareness by Watson just to fire that puck on net, knowing, because a lot of times, I mean, you see it when there's 5 seconds left in a period and the players have no idea, and they're trying to make an extra pass and trying to make that perfect play. But Watson was able to recognize, probably a lot of communication with his bench, shouting, hey, you got to shoot the puck, get it on net, get it on net. And so really just a great finish to that period for Missouri.
Absolutely. And it's hard to score on a power play goal when it's been bisected by the end of a period, you know. And so with how good Nebraska's penalty kill is, like, there is a strong chance that they were probably going to be able to kill that off starting in the second. And what a job by Watson with the great play, but Uglo too, to keep the puck in and get it somewhere where it's not just, oh, you know, there's 1 second left, like, turn, let me shoot it into somebody's shins, but to get an actual good opportunity and put it in. I mean, that's just a massive goal and completely changes the outlook of the second period for both teams.
Yeah, the Missouri power play stays hot-o, and after missing on the opportunity on that 5-minute cross-checking major, they're able to capitalize again. It's really been just the highlight, I think, at least in my eyes this season, has been the power play and the ability to convert. And so they're able to do it right there.
That they have. Well, that'll do it for our first period of action. I'm Owen Backer, joined alongside me doing color and producing for us, our own Ian Paprocki. As always, doing PA is our lovely Robert Krebel. And don't go anywhere, because in about 15 minutes, or about 11 minutes and some change, we're going to be back for the second period of action. So don't go anywhere. Thank you for tuning in thus far. Welcome back to the second period of action here at Washington Park Ice Arena in this game between the Missouri Tigers and the Nebraska Cornhuskers. I'm Owen Backer, joined alongside me Ian Paprocki. Doing PA is our own Robert Krebel. And if you're just joining us or you missed the first period, it was wild. Missouri scored a goal from Matthew Zitzman about 3 minutes in, and then it was pretty back and forth until the Tigers got a power play with 15 seconds left and scored a goal from Luke Watson with 0.7 seconds left on the clock to take a 2-0 lead going into the intermission. So now we're gearing up for an exciting second period, and Nebraska's going to have to respond early.
Yeah, Owen, it felt like that first period had everything, right? You had the Cornhuskers killing off the major penalty. The Tigers kill off the 5-on-3. You've got both goalies making great saves, Christoffel and Morgan, and a couple of goals for Missouri. Excited to see what the second period has in store for us.
Second period, of course, the period of the long change, so both sides will swap. Nebraska has got to wash that bad taste out of their mouth from the end of the first period. I expect a strong physical shift from them to start this. And there were certainly some big hits, but I expect Nebraska to press their physical advantage a little more.
They kind of went away from that, I feel like.
Yeah.
First half of that period, they were laying on some big hits, and that might have gotten away from them a little bit as the period dwelled on.
There's a little bit of contact there, and a shot through a screen, and Bramstead couldn't ship it on. It was a good chance from Zitzman, and tried to play the body on Beach, but Beach went right past him. Fortunately, he turned it over, and now Lucius gets this one to Beach. Beach trying to work his way around Ethan DeGroat. There's a great chance, an athletic save attempt from Christoffel, but it was fanned on by the Nebraska player. Now Missouri is going to come out of the zone with it. It's Zitzman, chips this one high, and they'll go for a change. That fourth line for Missouri is going to get on the ice, although they are far from a fourth line. It's very well balanced, including Blake Houston, the center, who is, as we mentioned before, this team's leading goal scorer. Luke Watson, another goal scorer from earlier in this game. He had that one with 0.7 as Morgan plays the puck. Morgan, very solid goaltender for the Cornhuskers. Can't really blame either of those goals on him. Of course, the saves were makeable, but a bit more of a defensive lapse. Blake Houston turning, trying to create some space. Good job dishing it off to the defenseman. Played down low. Tried to put that one in short side, and it doesn't go. And we've got ourselves a whistle.
I like the way the Tigers have been able to get bodies in front of the net, trying to take away the sight lines of Morgan. If you're with us in the first period, that's kind of what happened on that last second goal. Just getting bodies to the front of the net. Tigers did a nice job of that.
There's an old rule of thumb, and it applies more to the NHL, but it says, if the goaltender can see the puck, they'll save it. And if the goaltender can't see the puck, then your odds of scoring a goal go up drastically. So that's going to be a big thing for Missouri. And what they've done all year is really try to screen the goaltender, get bodies in front, get some of their bigger guys to take away those sight lines. Austin getting in on a physical play, as he's known to do. There's Dexter, who was wobbling, getting off the ice in the second period. So fortunate that he is back and seems to be skating without an issue. Danny Rudman goes for the puck behind the blue line, or behind the goal line, rather. Here's Aaron Hemmer. He's going to send this one top of the dot. Shot in, gloved with ease by Morgan.
Good offensive shift there from the Tigers as they get the shot on. Maybe not exactly where they wanted to have it, but the forechecking was strong, able to get a scoring opportunity.
Pressed on the faceoff from Missouri. Nebraska comes away with it. Both number 12s, McGinnis and Carapella, fighting for the puck, and it's going to pop out into the neutral zone. Not a whole lot of neutral zone this game, but Missouri's done a good job of kind of taking control of that part of the ice when they've had to. Carapella, and great job by Nebraska to not let him get any speed there through the neutral zone, and this one is called offside. 16:34 left to go in the second period of action. Still 2-0 Tigers.
Yeah, it was Brickle who just kind of tied up the stick in the neutral zone and able to get the puck back for the Cornhuskers. But Nebraska really hasn't had a lot of sustained pressure in the O zone. They've got to get something going. They've got to get set up. It just doesn't feel like they're in a rhythm offensively right now.
That's exactly how I'd put it. I mean, it's a rhythm, and that lack of rhythm is really disrupting them. They've had decent chances in isolation, but they aren't able to string them together. Unlike the Tigers have it, Carapella skates this one offside as Houston was unable to hold the line. And both teams will use this opportunity to go change. And, that's another part of the reason for that lack of rhythm might be the balancing of these teams' lines. I mean, Nebraska is a lot more weighted towards their top six, while Missouri, especially with the line combinations they have out tonight, is very well balanced. The fourth line could be the first line, the first line could be the fourth line. And that's definitely something that's contributed to Nebraska's inability to create sustained pressure as they tried to once more, but fired back in by DeGroat. There's a shot short side. A shoulder save made by Morgan. Still kept in. A great keep in by, I believe that was Zagorski. It was. But he turns this one over, and Nebraska will now dump and chase.
There's been a couple times in this game where Nebraska has been just a little lackadaisical in their own defensive zone.
Completely agree. I mean, it's kind of like, keep your eyes on the prize. They're looking at first line. There's a trip. Bonansky's tripped up, and it'll be another power play for Missouri. They are 1 for 2 in this game. Ironically, they couldn't score on a whole 5-minute power play, but it only took them about 15 seconds to score on their second one.
I mean, and that's just skating.
Yeah.
And I think Missouri has just been skating a lot better. He gets around his man, and, you just have no choice but to take the penalty there. Otherwise, Vodnansky's going to be in alone on the goaltender.
And how much have we seen him do that, where he skates in quick on the wing and is able to use that speed in his body to box out and score one. Bonansky, of course, had the game winner in overtime against Auburn last week in that SEC showcase down in Nashville. This power play for the Tigers brought to you by Gumby's. Aaron Hemmer with the puck sends this one back. Hemmer throws that one to the blue line, unable to be kept in by the defenseman Matthew Zitzman, who scored the first goal of this contest. Whipped around the boards by the Cornhuskers, unable to be kept in by the Tigers, and we've got a little bit of contact right in front of us here in our announcer's booth, if you want to call it a booth. Our announcer's area.
Booth would be generous.
Booth would be a little generous. It needs walls to be a booth.
We love it, though.
We love it. I wouldn't give it up for the world. 1 minute and 10 seconds on this power play, and the Tigers will enter the zone. Still got that same power play unit out as they did before. This one's cleared out, and now they'll use that opportunity to change the forwards at least. Prest, who's had an excellent game. Luke Watson, who scored a goal. Aaron Hemmer will go for a change. Got Weber out. Only 40 seconds left in this power play as Missouri has got to hurry if they want to have time to set up and get a few quality chances, but they are being hemmed into their own zone.
Yeah, you can't spend this much time in your defensive zone when you're on the power play.
I understand it's the period of long change and you got to get guys off and everyone's tired, but you got to get that puck in deep first.
Yeah, it's not, you can be in your defensive zone, but once you get that change, you got to find a way to make that outlet pass, and it didn't connect there.
And now, I mean, that's a whole minute of the power play that's expired with Nebraska expending pretty limited effort to do so as Houston's pass is broken up and as time ticks down. I was going to say we're back to 5-on-5. That's carried offside with 1 second left on that penalty kill for Nebraska. So unless something truly remarkable happens, that'll do it for this Gumby's power play. The Tigers are now 1 for 3 in the game. Face-off is going to be between Austin and Decker. 8 versus number 88. So now we're back to 5-on-5 play. Hemmer turning. Puck pickpocketed from him. 2-on-2. But a great back check from Hemmer to lift the stick and not allow Nebraska to get any offensive momentum. Some nifty moves trying to carve through the defense, but they can't. Cleared away by the Tigers defense into the corner. Now they're going to chase. Held at the blue line in a slap shot. That one can't get through as it goes wide. Taken once more, thrown on in a right pad save from Joey Christoffel. Another shot, and that one's gloved up high as Christoffel is able to put out the fire in front.
This has been a really good defensive effort from the Tigers. Obviously, it's still a lot of time to go in this game, but I think it's been one of their best all season. And when Joey Christoffel has been tasked with making the save, he's been right on top of things. He snares that last one with the glove.
Yeah, absolutely. Not just from the defense, but the forwards. I mean, the back check from Aaron Hemmer on that last shift, they really aren't able to get any speed going into the O-zone because this back check is so relentless from Missouri. Here's a big stretch pass for Carapella. Here he goes. And he's taken down, and that's going to be a penalty call. Very similar to the penalty called on Vanansky. You got a guy going in with speed, and the defender can't keep up, so they take him down. That would almost warrant a penalty shot. I don't think we'll ever get a penalty shot here. However, they're gonna put him in the box and give him a power play.
That was fun to watch that play develop. Carapella got in behind the D at his own blue line, and his eyes just lit up, started tapping his stick on the ice. Hey, I'm open, find me. The pass was right on the tape, and he's able to draw the penalty, uses the speed. But, I mean, Carapella saw that play develop when he was still in his own defensive zone.
This power play brought to you by Gumby's. And, yeah, I mean, there's a thing to be said about being opportunistic, but there's guys like Carapella that create their own opportunities out of thin air and can really benefit their team because of it. Now they've got a power play because of the play of Carapella. Cleared out by Nebraska. Shorthanded chance maybe as that shot goes well wide, fairly harmless. Missouri got hemmed into their own zone on their last power play. They need to avoid that here as they're starting out with that same unit that began their last power play, that power play 1. And Christoffel is skating to the bench, so we've got a delayed call.
Or the ref doesn't have his arm up.
So Christoffel's back. There's no delayed call. Well,
I don't think I've ever seen that.
So we'll break that down after the next whistle. 1:05 left. DeGroat walking in, shoots that one blocked.
We thought this game had everything. Now it really has everything.
Yeah. Okay. Shot high, and we've got a whistle. Okay. So Christoffel comes out of the net, I assume because of delayed penalty, but then he kind of skates away to play the puck, so I think he was just trying to help his team, but he still thought it was a delayed penalty. Then he gets all the way to the bench. It's the second period, mind you, so he has to skate a lot longer to get to the bench. Then turns around because the ref doesn't have his arm up. I'm not even sure what the infraction he thought it was. I didn't really see.
It looked like Beach got a stick into a Tiger skates right next to Christoffel. You know, maybe something that could have gotten called. My best guess is Christoffel assumed that was going to be a penalty, but you see him skating off the ice, and it's, wait a minute, neither official has his arm up, and the whole Missouri bench, no, go back.
It's like in baseball when a guy takes a pitch and starts walking to first base before he hears that it's strike 3 called. He was, what? What do you mean that wasn't a penalty? But that could have ended very poorly, but no harm, no foul, as Nebraska's not able to do anything, and there's a shot wide. Set up and out of the zone, and now it's a foot race. Nebraska's nearly going to come away with it, but a good job by Christoffel coming out of his net and covering. I also wonder if Nebraska maybe wasn't, trying to get that puck and fired onto the empty net, because if you see the opposing team's goaltender skating to the bench, you probably assume that there was a penalty called, right? I don't think Nebraska realized that there was no penalty.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume, if I'm on that Nebraska team and I touch the puck and I see the goalie skated off the ice, I'm guessing the play is probably over, but that would have been something.
15 seconds left on this Gumby's power play. Time for one last rush for the Tigers if they hurry. A great cross-ice pass to Vanansky. Vanansky walking in. Tried to put that one in just below the pad of the goaltender, but it's poke checked out, and that will do it for this power play. So it's still 2-0. With 10:30 to go in the second period. Missouri's power play hovering around 27% this season. very good, but not able to produce right there as the shot goes above the bar. Vodansky and Walsh team up to hold the blue line, and now Vodansky goes with it. Tried to center that one to Blake Houston, and he's unable to. Walsh got all the room in the world, a low line laser. Rebound, the puck's high. Goaltender is down and out. They try to get it through, but they can't.
That was a late penalty.
Oh, and some pushing and shoving after the play. A lot of extracurriculars. It'll be interesting to see how this is dished out. When there was that scrum in the first, they only gave a penalty to a Nebraska player.
Well, there was a delayed penalty before that. Christoffel left the ice. This time...
You sure he wasn't just doing that because he wanted to?
This time, the arm of the referee was actually up.
Yes.
We'll find out what the call is here, but Christoffel was off, so they had the extra attacker in, Morgan with an incredible save.
Yes,
on the other end of the ice.
I'm wondering, you think it's... If you're Missouri, you know you're on a delayed penalty. You're not going to take a boneheaded penalty. There's only one showing on the board right now.
It happened before that play, and
yeah.
I didn't see it. It might have been behind the play, but...
Well, I'm saying if there was a penalty after the delayed call, like a second penalty, surely it's not Missouri that took it, or if they did, that'd be a pretty unforced error to make, but...
So far, it doesn't appear like they're handing out any extra penalties.
I think it's just going to be the one. So that scrum isn't going to result in any calls.
Lengthy discussion, though, with Weber and Rudman.
And it doesn't look like any Cornhuskers are going to go to the box. So, yeah, right after that power play... it's been power play after power play after power play. The last two ended not much pressure for the Tigers. Almost looks as if they, wish to just decline the power play and just keep playing 5-on-5. But they're going to get another crack at it here. And I think they got to play with a little bit more desperation because their one power play goal was scored when they were up against the clock and they knew they had to get stuff on net. And it worked pretty darn well. So I think they got to be you don't usually say this, but you got to be a little less patient. You only have 2 minutes. Try to get the puck on net.
I think they are sending off some more players.
It's Houston,
yeah, Houston is off.
Involved in that scrum. He was the main guy for Missouri. And is that Weber going? It is Weber.
Looked like the referee signaled 5-on-4. He held up 5 fingers with his right hand and 4 with his left hand. So Tigers are going to go to the power play.
And so the captain, Weber, who was... we thought just negotiating for his team, was also talking to the ref about his own innocence. It's 5-on-4 power play. This power play brought to you by Gummies and a clean face-off win.
That just kind of sums up how it's going on this power play in the second period.
Yeah, seriously. The Grote, good job manufacturing space. Slap shot Zitzman and a save made by Morgan up high.
And you have the power play goal in the first period, so it could be worse for Missouri and their special teams tonight, but given the fact that that first power play was a 5-minute major and the fact that they've had several opportunities in the second period, they have to be a little bit frustrated even with the tally in the first by Watson.
That's almost 10 minutes of this game they've spent on the power play. And a wraparound attempt, and they nearly are able to jam it in.
Clock is frozen in the arena.
Yeah, it's stuck at 9:45.
I don't think the referees know this.
The power play, was the power play clock also frozen?
Power play clock was also frozen, so now it's going again at 9:35.
Yeah, but that's an extra 30 seconds of power play time. They got to figure that out.
I don't think it seemed like nobody noticed.
Zitzman to DeGroat. Ooh, tried to get a quick shot off there, but it was fanned on. Yeah, the clock's going still. I guess no one noticed, but if I was in Nebraska and noticed that, I'd be making a fuss. Shot high, gloved up by Morgan.
And now the Nebraska bench, you hear clock, clock, clock. Now they want something.
That had to have been at least 20 seconds.
I think the referees are going to make an adjustment. If they didn't notice that, this would be nearly a 3-minute power play.
We're running the clock to make it about 10 seconds off. The clock is now at 8:37.
So they ran a handful of seconds off, so things seem to be right. Nice keep-in that time by Jagrote. Check that was Uglo. Not 16, but 19. 40 seconds left on this power play. Barring any more clock shenanigans, as
it's still, I don't want to harp on it, but it could become a factor here. They only took 10 seconds off, and
yeah,
it's probably frozen for about 45, and so Missouri's going to benefit here.
Yeah, absolutely. That's another reason that, another opportunity you can't squander. Maybe it's the hockey gods trying to make things right by sapping this Tigers power play. Vodansky fighting along the boards. Puck chipped up high into the neutral zone, and now 10 seconds left on this penalty kill for Nebraska, and it looks like they've done it once more. Their PK's only blemish, that marker with 0.7 left in the first. Five-on-five play. Nebraska trying to get set up. Puck comes out and finally settled at the blue line by a Cornhusker. That one shot and punched away by Joey Christoffel, who's been perfect tonight. Not overly tested, but when he has been phenomenal. Krogan fighting for it, and finally this puck is going to go out of the zone, but unable to get a change is Missouri, or they'll be able to change one player as Krogan goes off. Behind the net of Christoffel. Vodansky's going to come away with it. He's got a 2-on-1 with Prest. He's pursued, and there's a shot and a save made. What a chance from Prest, and an even better save from Morgan. Oh, and there's some pushing and shoving after the whistle. Here they go. That was Watson. I can't tell who the...
Whitehill.
He is Whitehill. They were going at it. If the refs didn't intervene, I think the gloves were going to drop. We've very rarely seen that in ACHA. A couple times we've seen the gloves actually go to the ground and fists start flying, but...
This big crowd would have...
Oh, my goodness. This is,
that.
Again, reminding you folks watching at home, this is probably the biggest crowd we've seen this year, maybe the last 2 years. There's a lot of people here, and you can feel that energy every time Missouri makes a great play. So there's a 2-minute penalty on the board. It's only showing for Nebraska. It's Whitehill in the box. Now, there's 2 Nebraska players, and then Watson's in the box for Missouri. And they did put Watson's penalty up. So it's going to be 4-on-4 for 2 minutes. We had about 20 seconds of 4-on-4 at one point in this game in the first period. Few good opportunities for Missouri in that short time period. Here's a chance. They're poking away at it, and it's cleared out. And that's going to be an icing call. Remember, it's not a penalty kill anymore. It's 4-on-4, so you can't just fire the puck down.
Yeah, it's a nice play by Decker there. Able to clear it from his own crease. You hate to take the icing, but sometimes when it's like a fire drill in your own zone, you just got to get it out.
And there was a pretty long break to deliberate those penalties, so I don't think this group is particularly tired. They don't need a change, so icing is probably a good calculated risk. These matching roughing minors.
I think they're going to wave this icing off. It did look like behind the play near the Nebraska net, one referee said no icing, and then the one on the right side of your screen near Christoffel had his arm up. So they reconvene and decide that it's going to be no icing.
I'm not sure what I guess they would say it maybe glanced off a Missouri player's stick or skate before traveling all the way down the ice. So no icing, but even with the icing waved off, they don't elect to change lines. Carapella, once again, tenacious as ever and holds Nebraska up in their own zone. Brennan Chin with a good job to keep control of the puck, but it's stripped away by the Cornhuskers, and it's a 2-on-1 shooting, and that one goes high. Big hit, and it's Dominic Carapella working in 1-on-1. shoved down by the big defenseman for Nebraska. They've done a very good job using the actual just physical size of their defensemen to try and create plays.
The fans here wanted the penalty, but that's just a great play by Groban.
Excellent
that
play.
is wonderful defense, using the body and just pushing them off the puck.
And when you're built like that, I mean, that's what you got to do. Here's Houston. Shooting save made. 45 seconds left in those matching penalties. 4-on-4, a lot more open ice. You'd think that would benefit a team like Missouri that's a little bit quicker than their opposition. Centering pass goes nowhere, and you'll have to skate and collect. A couple guys get tied up and fall over. Now here's DeGroat. DeGroat had his pocket picked. That's Beach. Beach going in, tries to get to the center of the ice. Good defensive play from Houston to knock him off the puck. 10 seconds left on this 4-on-4. Here's a shot from the dot, and that one goes well wide. Still held by the Cornhuskers. As we are now back to 5-on-5 play. There's a shot going wide once more. Nebraska having a lot of trouble actually getting the puck on net, even from in close, as they were going for a deflection right there, and that one goes wide. 5-on-5 play. It's Ethan DeGroat turning, gives this one to Houston on a nifty play. Houston shooting, right pad save by Morgan. Nebraska trying to respond. There's a pass up and nearly had a breakaway if he could have corralled it, but Hemmer got the puck tied up in his skates. Still with the puck is Missouri. Now Nebraska takes hold. It's McCray. McCray entering the zone. Puts this one on, deflected, nearly an awkward bounce, beat Christoffel, but he was able to recover. Rudman, one of the guys wearing the C for Missouri, gives it to Hemmer, another guy wearing a C for Missouri. Little unconventional. Normally, a team might have like 3 or 4 A's, but Missouri's got 3 or 4 C's. This goes to show that the leadership group of this team is very strong, though.
Very, very strong leadership group. Guys that have been around for multiple years, and you need that when you have such a young roster. I mentioned it in the first period with all the freshmen and sophomores on this team. You've got to have guys like Danny Rudman and Aaron Hemmer and Andrew Knapp who can really set the tone for them.
Speaking of Andrew Knapp, I don't think he's had a shift this game. He is dressed, but he is nursing a undisclosed lower body injury as Hemmer tried to do something a little nifty there and wasn't able to, and that's a high stick. They thought it was going to be a high stick, and there's a shot save made. Nebraska certainly wanted it. We got captain, team president, Andrew Knapp is the leading point scorer for this team, is nursing a lower body injury. So he is dressed for tonight, but he isn't going unless the team really needs him. Definitely limited shifts. If Missouri was down right now, perhaps he would be on the ice.
How much do they miss him on that power play?
Oh, my goodness, so much. I mean, that's part of the reason, definitely, but you can't blame it all on Knapp being out. There's a whistle, and it looks like we're going to get a penalty on Missouri. But, yeah, you can't blame the entire power play struggles on Knapp, but certainly it doesn't help. I mean, you can see him right there. He's still standing on the bench and coaching his guys, being a leader, but very limited shifts.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I think this is the first Nebraska power play of the second period.
You are correct, yes. That they had a couple in the first, but they haven't been able to go on special teams in this second frame. There was a penalty Missouri did take, but it was 4-on-4, so they weren't able to go. Here's Beach, top of the dot, fires that one on. Off a body in front. Missouri doing a great job getting into those passing lanes and blocking shots. Make your goaltender's job as easy as possible. Stadler drops it off, and then this puck is sent over to Beach. Beach goes on in. Cross-ice pass. They've got a lot of space. Missouri's letting them skate around. Shot, save made. Krogan will get this puck out, and puck tied up in his skates, and he just makes a safe play and clears it all the way out. And then playing the puck was Morgan, and Luke Watson nearly had it, gave Morgan a handful. Beach spinning to the blue line. Plenty of space to work with. Missouri's putting bodies in front, not letting them get close. There's a one-time chance, and that one goes high. What an excellent slot chance for Nebraska. They just couldn't get it on. Playing the puck way out of his creases, Morgan, and nearly got it intercepted. Fortunate break for the Cornhuskers. That would have been a wide-open net, short-handed for Missouri. There's another good chance, but more bodies in front for the Tigers. They are swallowing this Nebraska power play. They're letting them skate into the zone. They're letting them pass it around, give them the perimeter, but they are not giving up anything in front.
I do like the way his power plays look, though, for Nebraska compared
Yes.
to the previous ones in the first period.
I would definitely agree with that. As playing the puck once again is Morgan, and almost turned it over. Probably the third time he's almost done that this game, but it's worked out so far, but he is playing with fire.
Neither goalie is tied down to the crease tonight, Owen.
No. 30 seconds left. Of course, in the first period, there was a goal scored with 0.7 left, so it truly isn't over till that buzzer sounds. We're back to 5-on-5 play. Nebraska fans maybe wanted a penalty, but they're not going to get one. Here's a chance in front. Covered up with ease by Morgan. 17.3 left. That penalty call that gave the power play to Missouri at the end of the first happened with about 15 seconds. So there's still plenty of time for things to happen. It's going to be an ozone draw for the Tigers. They've been a little bit better in the face-off circle tonight than they have previously. It's a clean win for DeGroat. That one shot high, blockered. 10 seconds now. Still in the ozone for the Tigers. Bramsted's fighting for it. Gives a few cross checks. And that'll do it for this period. They'll just tie him up on the boards, and a scoreless second.
I think Nebraska had some bad memories from the first period, and they said, you know what, with 10 seconds left, we're just going to pin this thing up against the board.
Yep.
We can't afford to give up another late one, a gut wrencher like that.
Yeah, I mean, a decent period for Nebraska. Again, it's scoreless, so you don't let up any goals after Missouri got, what, 3-4 power plays? 3 power plays and a 4-on-4?
Yeah, well, that's the thing for Nebraska. I don't think they played a bad period at all, but when you're trailing in a game and the penalty kill was good, don't get me wrong, but you've got to spend time in your offensive zone. You've got to get opportunities. You've got to get the puck on net, and when you spend so much time shorthanded, it's just so hard to do that. So if you're looking at a key to the game for the third period for Nebraska, stay out of the box. You can't make a comeback like that when you're shorthanded.
Absolutely, and also the way they kill penalties really doesn't lead to a lot of shorthanded chances, which is totally fine, right? If your penalty kill, its job is to kill penalties, and if you do that, then you don't got to worry about shorthanded goals. But when you have produced no offense at all, I mean, you can't win a game by just killing penalties, right? You need to put the puck in net, and they're having trouble getting through the defense regardless of the goaltender's skill, but once they finally do get through the defense, they realize, oh, it's Joey Christoffel. He might just rob us on the few good chances we have. So definitely frustrating for Nebraska. They're going to need to put together some big offensive opportunities in the third, and also still stay strong on defense, because I mean, this Missouri team is very capable of scoring more. They had a lot of good chances in this period.
Well, yeah, you got to give credit to Missouri defensively as well. I said it earlier in the period, but I really do think that they're playing some of their best hockey in their own defensive zone that we've seen them play all season long. I mean, the chances that Nebraska has gotten on Joey Christoffel, for the most part, have not been grade A chances. They've been from tough angles, or they've been from further away from the net. They're just not letting these Cornhuskers get out to the middle. So, see if Nebraska is able to generate something in the third period. They're going to need to.
Absolutely. Well, that'll do it for us at the second period of action. Come back in about 11 or 12 minutes for the puck drop in the third period. I am Owen Backer, joined alongside me, Ian Paprocki. On PA, Robert Krupple, as always. Thank you very much. Don't go anywhere. We will be back for the third period of action. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the third period of action here at Washington Park Ice Arena. I'm Owen Backer, joined alongside me, Ian Paprocki and Robert Krebel on PA. It's been a wild game. Tigers took an early 1-0 lead in the first period. Then it was a pretty even back and forth first until Luke Watson, the freshman, scored with 0.7 seconds left in the these. No goals, though. And so now, going into the third period, it's 2-0 Missouri, and all the focus is going to be on Nebraska. They have to figure out something offensively. They need to find a way to get sustained pressure and really test Joey Christophel, who's been good, but he really hasn't faced too many difficult chances against. So Mizzou, they're just going to have to keep playing their game, maybe get a few more offensive opportunities, stay sound defensively like they have been, but all the focus is really going to be here on Nebraska.
Absolutely.
Fred Bramstead carving through center ice and working into the O-zone with ease, shooting that one off a leg. And that went into the netting. With all the power plays in the second period and the fact that it was the period of the long change, you'd think there'd be more goals. I mean, that was a factor. We saw a good amount of breakaways and things of that nature, but just no goals happened to go in the net for either squad. Now we're back to a short change like we were in the first.
Maybe with some other ACHA goaltenders, Owen, but not with Joey Christophel and Jacob Morgan tonight. They've been so much fun to watch. What a treat.
Two of the top netminders in the ACHA. And we've seen a lot of good goalies come through here. We joked early in the game before the broadcast started. We were like, yeah, how often have we seen a team come into Washington Park Ice Arena with an elite goaltender and a great first line, and that's it? And to some degree, Nebraska fits that description, but they're so big and they have so much physicality and they are so solid on the penalty kill. It's definitely an interesting matchup, and Joey Christophel has played very well to not let them score anything. Behind the net of Morgan, fighting off multiple defenders, is one of the captains from Mizzou. That's Ethan DeGroat. Ethan DeGroat, of course, made his debut for Mizzou hockey in January of 24. That was the first January. There's a shot. The first January that Missouri got all of those transfers from other schools, and they were playing very well. So first series of January, even though it's late in the season with how the ACHA schedules, is always very interesting to kind of see the outlook of teams and see if they've got some different bodies on the ice. Missouri getting one key transfer from the OHL. Well, the Peoria Sting, I believe, was the team, and we'll talk a little bit more about that when we have a break.
They always consider these January games for the fact that teams can be a little bit rusty coming off of the winter break, but Missouri played in that Frozen Showcase in Nashville.
There's a good chance from Carapella. Carapella's played himself an outstanding game. Not sure who the 3 stars are going to be tonight. They're going to, if the Tigers win, have a 3-star showcase, but I definitely have Carapella throw his hat into that race. Luke Watson, another guy that could be considered for that. He plays the puck.
I'll take the easy answer, Joey Christophel.
There you go.
I feel like that's cheating, though.
If he keeps the shutout going, which, again, knock on wood, it's still a little bit of time to play here, but if he keeps that going, absolutely, you have to. I'm curious to see what they say the shot totals are in this game. We'll get that for you at the end of tonight's contest. Here come the Cornhuskers. There's Lucius, who's been all over the ice, and a shot. Juicy rebound in front, but Missouri able to clear that one out. That's another thing for Nebraska. They've actually gotten some pretty decent rebound and backdoor opportunities, but they just never have a player home to actually pot it in.
That's a line that Nebraska has got to get going if they want to come back in this game, with Lucius and Beach, two of their top offensive weapons who just have not generated a whole lot tonight. They've got to start to play together and get some more pucks on net and, you know, try to just chip into this Missouri lead early here in the third period.
Your attention, please. We are taking 30 minutes off the clock. 30 seconds off the clock.
Sorry, they just I don't know if you guys heard, they just announced that they're taking 40 seconds off the clock. So they're going to run some things down. I didn't see it, Ian, but I guess there were some clock issues
It's that 40 seconds from the second period, remember? When the clock stopped and they only took 10 off, and I was like, no,
wow,
there's
okay,
45.
so they're catching up, which, they didn't take off the 40 seconds of extra power play that Missouri got, but they didn't score on that marker, so I guess it's a bit of cosmic karma there as Aaron Hemmer works in, and Bickle was the one taking that face off for Nebraska. His line is another one that really needs to get going. I guess you could say the entire team needs to get going for Nebraska, but definitely those two lines that we mentioned as we've got a stoppage.
Look out in the Nebraska bench.
I know. Duck.
Head on a swivel.
That's why you always have the backup goalie. That's why I don't like it when the backup goalie in like NHL arenas has to like be in the tunnel, because you want the backup goalie there to be able to snap the glove and protect his guys on the bench from flying pucks.
It's an interesting conversation topic for, I guess, doesn't apply as much in the ACHA, so we won't spend too much time on it, but being in the tunnel as opposed to on the bench as a backup goalie.
Yeah, absolutely. You're not there with the guys, but you could just be sitting in the locker room watching the game on TV. Nebraska has really struggled to get the puck out of their own zone. As there's Dominic Carapello comes with it, but he's pickpocketed immediately. And a decent centering pass, but just nobody is there. I mean, Nebraska really has not been able to, slink together multiple plays in a row, multiple passes in a row as a man was almost hit into the bench. It's a pretty tall task to hit one of these big, corn-fed Nebraska players into a bench. There's a reason that state produces exclusively 5-star offensive linemen. So here comes Blake Houston working in with Carapella 2-on-2. 12-21. Puck stripped away. Missouri, of course, would like another goal for the insurance, but ultimately all the focus is still on Nebraska as that one's backhanded and off the leg of Christoffel. I thought it was under him for a second, but it squirted out behind the net. Chipped high into the neutral zone, and here's Dominic Carapello once again. Home run chance. Turning in nice defense. Couldn't get anything on it. Then a shot, and it doesn't go. That's the exact kind of play that Nebraska needs on their offensive opportunities. Is that, first guy doesn't score, second, third chance opportunity. Missouri's been able to do that all night, but Cornhuskers have not.
McGinnis tied up Carapello there before the shot. If the Cornhuskers come back to win this game, remember that defensive effort from number 12 in white and red.
Absolutely, and there's a fanned-on chance, not once but twice by Nebraska. They still have the puck. Shot, low save from Christoffel. The puck is still loose, unable to be kept in a fortuitous zone exit for Missouri. And look how tired Carapella is. I mean, that he was practically crawling to the bench. Missouri Tigers have fresh bodies on the ice. 14:45 to go in the third period of action. Vodansky intercepts, throws that one down, but it's off a face shield. Everybody in ACHA is a cage, so no missing chicklets. There's a shot save made. Rebound chance. Vodansky goes for it. Puck behind the net of Morgan. Another attempt to throw it into the Nebraska zone off a body. Missouri with the puck, and I would love to see the time on ice stat this game, or the time of possession stat for this game, because it's got to be 2-1 in favor of Missouri. Brendan Chin playing some defense. Centering pass goes off a skate.
Yeah, it's just those passes that aren't connecting at all tonight for Nebraska, trying to throw the puck in front of the net, and there's just more black jerseys than white jerseys hanging out in front of Joey Christoffel.
And not only they're not connecting, they're not particularly close. I mean, we've seen teams that just barely aren't close. There's a shot and a save made by Christoffel, and he's knocked over.
He's shaken up.
He's shaken up as Weber stays behind to give him a stick, and a goal on the other end! While the focus was on a potentially injured Missouri goaltender, the Tigers go down the other way with speed and put that one in. And who else but the guy that scored the OT winner last week against Auburn, Thomas Vodansky. And that's the insurance marker they needed.
Yeah, just a massive goal for Missouri. Vodnansky able to capitalize in the offensive zone, but it's the effort defensively, and they're quick in transition. Nebraska just a little bit slow getting back, and Vodnansky finishes it. He's been awesome this year for the Tigers, and that's a big one for Missouri.
Absolutely massive. And I mean, you thought the pressure was on the Cornhuskers before. You got to score 3 goals in about 13 minutes when your offense has not been able to connect 2 solid passes really since the first period. Bramsted's going to get an assist on that. That's definitely earned for him. A little desperation. McCracken had the way cleared by Decker, as that one nearly got baseball batted in past Christoffel, but they couldn't connect on it. And a great, Houston almost got it to Watson. Would have split the D on a breakaway, but the pass was just beyond the reach of his stick. Here's Decker. Decker a shot. That one off a stick and glanced high. Missouri will break out. Neutral zone chips in, and now they are more than content to just hold the puck and fire it down and make Nebraska come to them, as they'll go get a line change. And fresh bodies out on the ice. Zagorski, nice job forcing the pass intercept. Now back to Zagorski. Max Zagorski sheds off some contact from McRae and is able to put it down behind the net of Morgan. Nate Austin, the very good defensive forward, on pursuit there, nearly causing a big turnover. 2-on-1. There's a chance, but it can't connect, and a stick broke. And that was a Nebraska stick, so he'll have to go get a new one, and he'll just change lines.
Yeah, that was Joyce's stick. Tough break for him as he tried to enter the offensive zone, make a move, and his stick just...
First of times, doesn't it?
It sure does.
Right when you need your stick to not break. 11 minutes now. You got to think the prevailing thought on that Missouri bench is, 1, don't take a penalty, and 2, just keep playing the way you have been. I mean, this is a chess game, and Nebraska's forced to make the move here. It's got to be something they change up. Uglo slides this one over, but he gets it right back. Carapella back on the ice after that very long shift he had just before. A Nebraska defenseman. And I think we're going to get a hooking call, and that's going to be on Nebraska. And it wasn't necessarily intentional, but his stick just got caught up in the Tiger player. I believe that might have been Rudman's equipment.
Yeah, I think the argument for Merritt is that Rudman was holding his stick, or Prest was holding his stick.
Yeah. And
so he pleaded his case, but it'll be another Tiger power play.
So Missouri's power play has been great. Obviously, if you pot a goal here, that pretty much does it in for the game, but just don't take any big chances, right? Don't give it away a shorthanded opportunity, and you'll run 2 minutes off the clock. There's 10:53 left in this period, so you really don't need to do that much. You just need to not give up a shorthanded goal and maybe get a few chances of your own. Shot from Weber, and a thud heard around the rink. That was a good blocker save. Nebraska is just going to be trying to kill this penalty off and then, try to do something 5-on-5. I really don't see them being that aggressive and trying to, maybe go for the big shorthanded chances. They've got a whistle. The puck was lodged in between some sticks and skates. They gave it a few seconds and then just blew it dead.
You have another clock issue, Owen?
Yeah, that we've had 2.
It says 1:45 to go.
That tracks. It's been about
play.
15 seconds, I think.
Talking right now.
Well, no, now the clock's running. Wasn't as wrong as it was before. They ran about 5 seconds off. 5 to 10 seconds off, it seems right. So 10:27 left, 1:35 on the power play. This power play brought to you by Gumby's Pizza, as always. Zitzman dishes it down low to press. There's a one-time chance. They're trying to poke away out of the puck. It's still loose. Now Zitzman with a slap shot save made. Puck still loose. Turning in that one is covered finally by Morgan. And we've got some extracurriculars here, folks. There's some fisticuffs flying, and that's a fight. Bramstead is going at it with someone. The crowd is into it. DeGroat and Zitzman are hiding behind the official like scared children, while everyone else is fighting for their lives. What a display. That's no insult to DeGroat and Zitzman, by the way. They've done absolutely nothing wrong. They're still going at it. So Bramstead was the first one throwing at it. He's in the box, and oh my!
Look at Christophel's at center ice.
Oh.
Well, I think it was Morgan who got involved there.
And Christophel's
at center ice, and he's waving his hand saying,
a goalie fight would heal my soul.
Yeah, Zitzman's having some words with Morgan. This looks more cordial.
Yeah. Trying to figure out exactly what went down. So what was the start of all of that?
Well, Morgan makes an incredible save. I'm too busy thinking about how he was channeling his inner
saves.
Dominic Hasek right there. And then all of a sudden, everybody is over in the corner. And just a lot of frustration on the Nebraska side. Penalty boxes are full.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that we probably will see some misconducts here at this point. I mean, the way that escalated so quickly.
The officials are gathered around the Nebraska penalty box right now, kind of explaining themselves. And remember, that happened with 1:16 or 1:18 left on a Missouri power play. So this could very much – there's two guys in the box for each team. So I'm wondering if they'll do 4-on-3, if they'll keep this 5-on-4.
These teams have another one tomorrow night, Owen.
Yes, that's very important to
Don't
mention.
want to get ahead of ourselves.
All this bad blood. There is a game tomorrow, and I mean, if you're Nebraska and you do something suspension-worthy, you can't play tomorrow's game. Like, that could be huge. So,
yeah, either team really. I mean, it's going to be a long discussion. It's kind of hard from our vantage point, but it did look like Jacob Morgan got involved there.
Yeah, I don't know if he didn't get involved at the start, so it's not like, someone came into his crease and that's what started the fight. I think it may have spilled over into the net. He took exception to it. Yeah, we have no way to know what was said or what really happened, but
I think Morgan shoved a Missouri player down to the ice.
I'm wondering if Morgan took a penalty there.
We had Christopher at center ice, like we said.
I'm wondering if Morgan took a penalty there, and that's what one of the guys in there serving a minor for him, because he got off the bench and went straight into the box. I don't think that was somebody who was on the ice.
Are they going to kick Morgan out? I think they're kicking him out.
Oh, they're kicking him out.
Yep.
And listen to that crowd.
He's getting a standing ovation.
And hey, we've seen this before. He might start tomorrow, unless he was given a misconduct. He very well might start tomorrow. But if he's getting removed,
if that's an ejection,
then I don't think he will. Right? The rules are sometimes sketchy, but I don't think he's allowed to play tomorrow.
Yeah, that could be a big loss as Jaden Salato hops over the boards and gets set to take over in goal. But I mean, that is something else. I mean, I think it was Morgan. It was hard to tell, like I said, from our vantage point. But
he's coming out and waving to everyone.
He just swung down a Missouri player.
Wait, so Morgan is getting in the penalty box. That's I don't think I've ever seen a goalie in the penalty box, because normally you either have someone on the bench serve the minor, or you. He's banging his stick on the boards. He's hyping the crowd up.
Oh, and the referee is laughing.
I've never seen a goalie in full equipment sitting in the penalty box. Because why? It's not like when the penalty expires, he's going to hop on the ice and go skating around. Everyone is laughing. I'm not sure what's I don't know, what's the protocol here?
Oh, and nothing beats Friday night ACHA hockey in Jefferson City.
Literally nothing. You don't know ball. You don't know hockey until you have seen. You don't know puck until you have seen a Mizzou rivalry game on a Friday at Washington Park Ice Arena. You will see penalties called you didn't know existed. You will see random nonsense, and I love it so much.
I mean, Morgan is just sitting into the penalty box, full goalie gear, big smile on his face.
So, are they giving him a 2-minute minor and then letting him come back after? Is that why he didn't go to the locker room? That's the only thing I can think of, because if he's out of the game, why is he there? But normally, again, a goalie takes a 2-minute penalty.
Oh, yeah, a skater serves the penalty.
And I think the guy they have that. Oh, sorry, I kicked your laptop. The guy that they have serving, I think, was serving the penalty for Morgan, is now gone back to the bench. So originally, I think it was an ejection, and then they were going to have a minor penalty served by the skater. And there is 5 minutes showing on the... I don't know what's happening, Ian. I have no idea what's happening.
I don't know what's happening either, Owen, but this is fun.
This is fantastic. It's been like 15 minutes since the last hockey happened, and I'm loving it.
I'm just thinking about Robert having his hands full there in the PA box. He's going to have a lot to read in terms of penalties here.
I can't stop laughing. I don't know what's happening.
Is
Morgan still in the box?
Yes,
yeah, he
is. I just can't get over that fact. I've never seen the image of a goalie going over the penalty box.
I'm wondering, and we'll see. So is there going to be a 2-minute minor, and then when the whistle blows, is he going to come back? Is he going to come out of the penalty box? I think he has to. And surely the backup goaltenders had time to get warmed up while Morgan's just cold. I mean, I would just ride out the remaining 10 minutes with the other goaltender. But
I mean, I am surprised that Morgan did not get kicked out of the game. I mean, after that scrum and throwing down the Missouri player in front.
I think he was, and then they changed their mind because he was ready to go to the locker room. Okay, so there's 4 Cornhuskers in the box, one of them being their goaltender. There are 3 Tigers in the box. One of them is Andrew Knapp, who hasn't played a shift all game, so I think he's serving a bench minor. I would assume. I'm not sure what that bench minor would have been.
Morgan put his goalie mask back on.
Okay. Like he's getting ready to skate out there when the penalty expires. So there's a 2-minute minor on the board for Missouri, for Austin, and then there's the original power play that this happened on, and then a 5-minute major. So it's 3-on-3. No, it's 4-on-3 for Missouri. Okay, we'll roll with it. Here's Vanansky, throws that puck down low behind the net.
Nebraska penalties, number 4, Jackson Beach, and number 30, Jacob Morgan, both over 10-minute misconduct.
So they did announce those penalties as both misconduct. So if it's a 10-minute misconduct, why is he in the penalty box? Why isn't he in the locker room? We will never know. Here's Uklo. Hemmer's the one who took the penalty for Missouri. And then the 10-minute misconduct being served by Knapp. Bryce Uglo, top of the dot, puts this one over. Back to Uglo. There's a shot. Pad save and puck ejected out of the zone. This power play, of course, still brought to you by Gumby's Pizza. In case in all the madness you forgot who this power play is brought to you by.
In case anyone's wondering, Morgan does have his glove and blocker on.
He's so ready.
In the penalty box. He's holding his goaltending stick.
So 3 minutes and 35 seconds left on the major penalty for Nebraska. If you count the players in the ice, it's 4-on-4 currently. 30 seconds left on the Hemmer penalty. chase down is Watson. Lucius couldn't beat the icing, and so we'll have a face-off in the O-zone of the Tigers. I'd like to take this time to thank you all for joining us in the Madhouse. It's been a great game, and after a long winter break, we're glad to be back. Tomorrow, we will be playing Nebraska again, same time, so definitely tune in for that. I'm sure it is going to be an incredibly entertaining game after what we've seen tonight.
I don't know if you could beat this, though.
Yeah, well, don't be so sure of yourself, Ian. You're going to be on call for that one. Missouri with the puck.
Your attention, please. Now in goal for Nebraska, number 1, Jaden Salam.
Yeah, and Salam is in the goal for the Cornhuskers, as they just announced. And so that's another thing about tomorrow's game is he going to start? Because if that is a misconduct, then Morgan's not allowed to start. And if there's an injury, they don't have a backup. So that's a very interesting thing we're going to watch. So now the 4-on-4's ended. It's another power play brought to you by Gumby's. That original major penalty. There's going to be 2:45 on that. So Missouri's going to be able to run this down to about 5 minutes left before it's back to 5-on-5. There's Prest. Up to Chin. Held at the blue line. Sauces this one over. Oh, a huge one-time opportunity for Prest, but he just fanned on it. That thing would have been a laser if he made contact.
Yeah, strike one.
Yeah, seriously. He slung low and away on a slider.
Credit to him for getting to a good spot on the ice, though. And, you know he's got a great shot. He'll be upset with himself over that one.
Bodansky takes the face-off and wins it. The face-off won against Decker. Weber with the puck at the blue line. Again, no pressure for the Tigers. They're not exactly in a hurry on this power play. The clock ticks to now 2 minutes left on the major. Shoots that one blocked. It's a standard power play, except it's still a major penalty. So if they score, they still have a power play until time expires. Good keep in by Weber. Him and Bodansky. Weber now slings that one down low. Bodansky turning. Now here's to Weber. Top of the dot on the opposite side. That puck loose. Taken by Bodansky once more. They're playing pitch and catch with it. Luke Watson on the far corner. Shoots that one awkward angle, and it goes off a body in front. Nebraska trying to clear, and they do. They'll get a line change. Missouri will use that opportunity to get a change as well. 1 minute and 20 seconds on this power play for Missouri. 6 minutes and 28 seconds left in the game. Luke Watson. Luke Watson drops that one off and then goes for a change. He was the last guy on that first unit to not be able to get off. Max Zagorski tries to center that one. Attempting to just funnel the puck into the slot. Unable to are the Tigers. A good job by this PK of Nebraska. And they've still been really solid in this game, but you can't really PK your way to a victory if you don't put any goals in the net yourself. There's a shot and save made there by Salem. .30 seconds now on this power play. 5:40 to go in this game. Ethan DeGroat circling behind the net. Throws that up to Max Zagorski. Max Zagorski with a shot off of a man. There's a shot from, I believe that was Owen Walsh. There's two defensemen on the ice on this power play for Missouri, which they don't typically have, but they're playing a little safe, and that penalty's expired, so no power play goals, but an opportunity backhanded high by Prest. So after all of that nonsense, we're back to 5-on-5. There's still two guys in the box per team serving 10-minute misconducts, but 5-on-5. And here's McCracken. McCracken a shot, left pad save. Kraken with another one, or that was not even, oh, there's a little pushing and shoving. The net's knocked off its moorings, but a nice snappy high glove save from Christoffel.
I've been really, really impressed with the Nebraska penalty kill tonight. I know we spent a lot of time talking about it because Missouri's been on the power play quite frequently, but they've done a really nice job. There's a positive to take away from a game that has not gone their way. It's that.
Puck dropped. Rimmed high off the glass by Uglo, unable to get the puck out. And now if you're Nebraska, I mean, you're starting to think about pulling the goaltender, right? I mean, you got to score 3 goals. You're down with 4 minutes and 30 seconds left. I mean, I would think once you get sub 3 minutes, you probably have to. But they've got good pressure right now, and there is no sign of them going 6-on-5 anytime soon. Carapella now gets this puck, chips it into the neutral zone. A man pressed is taken down, but no call. 4 minutes and a big hit in the corner, and this crowd is definitely energized. Now Vanansky gets the puck out of his zone, and there's a penalty taken, and there's some extracurriculars once more right in front of the Tiger bench, and here they go. And and there he's been tackled. Press tackled somebody, and another Nebraska player was grabbed by his collarbone.
It's starting to get a little bit out of hand here.
Oh, and there, what was said to the? That was so.
Like Whitehill was taunting the Missouri penalty box.
Going to the box, pointed right in the face of Knapp, the captain, who was serving that major, and said something to him. That Nebraska penalty box is getting real full.
I don't think there's any more room in there.
There isn't, because you have a guy in full goalie pads in there, taking up half the room for some reason. Oh, poor Robert. There's so many penalties. Okay. I enjoyed the hockey while it lasted, but now we're going to have to go to this again.
I mean, and you and I have been doing this for a number of years now.
Yes.
And ACHA hockey is usually very chippy. There's usually a lot of penalty minutes. I mean, we saw a game, I think SLU was here a couple years ago, where there was 170 penalty minutes or something like that.
Arkansas won in 23 where the goalies got kicked out.
Yeah. I mean, this is not, lots of penalty minutes isn't something new, but it just feels like tonight is a little bit different with what we've seen and just how it's evolved over the game, and the frustration, I think, for this Nebraska side in the third period. It's just, this is like a whole new level.
Yeah, there was a game against Arkansas that Jack Dobbs got kicked out of, and I believe I don't remember which defenseman on Missouri's team drop-kicked somebody and got kicked out, but this is a different kind of thing. It has its own flavor.
Whitehill has exited the bench. I think he has been ejected.
Yeah,
he was
that would make sense.
He was barking at the Missouri bench.
I would imagine a couple Missouri penalties are here, even if you say, Nebraska was the instigator or whatever. I mean,
and there's still, Whitehill's walking right behind the Missouri bench, and Zitzman has some words for him.
Oh, Missouri. See, that's the thing about Washington Park Ice Arena. He now has to walk past all of the fans who are and he's throwing his arms up. The camera's not going to pick this up. He is throwing his arms in the air, taunting the entire crowd. The ref skates over, tells him to get to the locker room. He's got to walk past an army of fans. Whitehill is, you know what I think it is? Why this feels different than like Arkansas? It's the unseriousness of it all. Like, against Arkansas, it's like, oh, these are rivals. Like, there's bad blood. And this is, like, so unserious. Like, the goaltender in the penalty box and the smiling and the hype in the crowd up as you leave. It just feels so ridiculous. But I love it. This is fantastic.
I've never laughed like this at a hockey game.
No.
And I've been to a lot of hockey games. I mean,
this is so...
You're absolutely right. I wish you were able to capture that with Whitehill. The locker room for Nebraska is off kind of to the bottom left corner of your screen. And so he's just walking past all those fans, like you said.
And they're all chirping him.
They're all chirping him, and he's not trying to fight any of the fans. He's trying to have fun with them.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
you know, play off of the energy. But this is
so objectively funny. This is like, this third period's been going on for like an hour.
This has been quite the night.
Actually. So remind you what's happening in this. First of all, you are watching a hockey game if you forgot, but there's 3 minutes and 47 seconds left on the clock in the third period. It's 3-0 for the Tigers. There was a bunch of penalties. Finally, we got back to 5-on-5 for about a minute or two, and then just all hell broke loose again. You see Robert over there with the paper talking to the ref. We have to get that sheet, the score sheet after the game. Yeah.
So Whitehill is gone. I haven't seen anybody else make the walk to the dressing room.
I haven't either.
That's something.
Which I'd be a little surprised if there weren't more. I think the officials realize if they give out too many misconducts, these teams it's going to be like a 5-on-5 tomorrow. Like there's not going to be, because they don't have any extra players that travel.
Yeah, you're not going to have enough players for tomorrow's game. Great point.
So they're ready to drop the puck. There's only one penalty on the board. It is Whitehill's penalty, who got ejected, but it's only a 2-minute minor. I assume he probably got ejected for everything he did after the penalty.
He was pointing straight at the two Tigers in their penalty box and
barking at them. And so I assume
some things were probably said that we could not say on air.
So actually on the ice, there was only a minor, which I guess probably a roughing if I had to guess. So, okay. It's going to be a power play for Missouri, I believe, brought to you by Gumby's. And it's going to take us down to, unless there's a goal, 1:47 left in the game, and then I only pray then that we can have a minute and 40 seconds of 5-on-5 hockey to end the game. Finally, we're back at it. Hope I didn't forget how to announce hockey. It's been so long since I've last seen hockey be played. Here's Matthew Zitzman. Zitzman to the DeGroat. There's a shot, gloved up high, and a couple guys jump for it with their sticks in the air.
Also, Nebraska penalty number 62, Noah Whitehill, a 5-minute nature penalty for fighting, plus a brief misconduct.
5-minute major for fighting and a 10-minute game misconduct for Whitehill, they announced. And then Watson got the penalty for the fighting penalty because him and Whitehill were the ones who were tangled up. And then also misconduct. So that's a big loss if neither of those guys can go tomorrow.
Also, Nebraska penalty to number 62.
Ooh, and a ref takes a tumble right in front of us. He seems okay.
18-15.
Line change for the Cornhuskers. Missouri will swap forwards. After all the bad blood, you think maybe they do want to pop one more in here on this power play to really drive it home. DeGroat back to Zitzman. Zitzman fires that one just beyond the glove of the goaltender, Salam. Puck cleared right onto the stick of DeGroat, like he had a magnet in his stick. It just fell right to him. 29 seconds left in this Gumby's power play. 2 minutes and 13 seconds left in this game. It has been a wild one. If you didn't catch the whole thing, a goal by Zitzman in the first period, in the first 3 minutes, set the tone early, and then a goal by Luke Watson with 0.7 left in the first made it 2-0. And then a scoreless second and a back-and-forth third before Missouri got a key insurance marker to make it 3-0. And then all hell broke loose, and there was 1 million fights and 1 million penalties, and I don't remember anything that happened before that or during that.
Yeah, if you didn't catch the whole thing, I say just go back on YouTube. These streams stay up, so just watch it again. There's been a lot that has happened on.
We're going to farm some views off this game. Nice breakout pass for Carapella, and he has just been so good. He's still playing with that high motor that he has all season, really, but especially all this game. There he is working in again, and a good save made. We're back to 5-on-5. 1 minute and 40 seconds left to go in this game. What I say, these are two heated rivals at the start of the game, and they are. They certainly proved me right in that fact.
Yeah, it's been a heated game.
Pass intercepted at center ice. Here's Houston. Houston tried to tuck that one in, and he just barely couldn't. It's a nice save. Probably one or two more shifts left in this game as both teams will change. 1:08 showing on the clock here at Washington Park Ice Arena.
Yeah, it's tough to be a goalie coming into a game like this after sitting on the bench in the third period. And Solano, I think, has done a very nice job. He makes another save there on Houston. He took the puck straight to the net.
Yeah, and I mean, it's obviously a tough situation. He got plenty of time to warm up when he came in, and there's about 5 minutes of everyone arguing about the penalties, but he's been really good in relief, and he might have to start tomorrow. So unless there's a goaltender that's not dressed on the bench that might get the start for Nebraska instead. But definitely solid effort thus far. And as now the clock ticks under a minute, we've got 35 seconds left to go. I think both teams are content to just skate this one out and try for tomorrow. I'm curious if there's going to be any fireworks after the whistle. I don't think so. I think these teams realize that they can't take any more misconducts or suspensions.
Yeah, got to be smart.
Finansky, chin, that one high, kind of floats it on, a bit of a knuckle puck, and block it away with ease. Solano. And just like that, time will tick down as the crowd roars. And Christoffel flips the net in celebration, which is cool.
Second shutout of the season.
Yes.
For Christoffel.
And much earned. I mean, he's got to be your first star of this game. He wasn't tested as much as you think, Nebraska would have wanted, but I mean, you have to. You have to give it to the guy with the shutout. I believe the other shutout was against Arkansas, correct?
Yeah, it was against Arkansas on Friday, September 12th, right here in Jefferson City. So he shut out Arkansas, and he has shut out Nebraska. What a game. I feel like that's an understatement at this point, but
that was the most nonsense game I've ever seen, and I'm so happy I got to be here. And I am so happy all of you at home got to be here with me for this legendary performance. Don't go anywhere. They're doing the 3 stars of the game, so we're just going to break things down a little bit before they go do it. And man, I've run out of things to say. It's just, wow. Here they are for the 3 stars.
3-star with 1 goal, number 17, Thomas Bonetsky. Your number 2-star, also with 1 goal, number 2, Nicholas Sinsman. And your number 1 star with 30 saves, number 30, number 50, Joey Christoffel.
Nice hand for Joey Christoffel. I mean, he was great tonight when called upon. I think that Nebraska, like I said before, struggled to get those grade A scoring opportunities. Missouri did a nice job getting in front of shots and getting into passing lanes. But, Christoffel was outstanding. And, I like the way overall, I mean, I know there were a lot of penalties on both sides, but, I thought Missouri had good discipline for a lot of this game. A lot of the extracurricular stuff came late after they had the lead. They didn't do anything stupid. They didn't take any bad penalties to go shorthanded after, being up by a few goals. So I think that, all things considered, this was one of the better nights for Missouri all season long. Not only
Yeah.
defensively, but just as a team, I think they really gelled tonight. I think this is a turning point for them, especially after the SEC Frozen Showcase when they dropped two of the last two of those 3 games. And so they clearly rebounded tonight. And, I just think that, there are a lot of good things that are being said right now in that locker room as they get ready for tomorrow to take on this Nebraska team once again.
Yeah, ironically, a really disciplined game for Missouri because none of the penalties they took were really like off the ice too much. Like Nebraska wasn't playing in a way where they were forcing Missouri to take tripping penalties, hooking penalties, etc. It was all after the whistle, which should be easy to clean up because there's no issues with your play. It's just, getting rage baited for lack of a better term. But also, none of those penalties were really Missouri instigating. I mean, you have to respond if somebody, cross-checks your goaltender. So I really don't think those are that bad.
Yeah, and you understand the frustration on the Nebraska side. A game that just didn't go their way from the start. Offensively, they couldn't get anything going. Jacob Morgan, I thought he played an outstanding game. Obviously made the headline a little bit later on by going to the penalty box in full gear. But, there are positives to take away. The penalty kill for Nebraska was outstanding. I think that Missouri missed Andrew Knapp, like we talked about on that power play. But, it'll be fun to see how they respond tomorrow. I mean, I'm so intrigued after everything that we just watched. What happens tomorrow? Do we see the same level of physicality? There'll be some ejections tonight that will turn into suspensions, and so rosters will get reworked a little bit for tomorrow's game as well. So just, a whole lot of intrigue, but this is a very positive night for the Tigers.
Yeah, before we let you go, a couple notes. With this game, with the securing of a couple points, the Tigers have clinched first in the MACHA Gold Division. So February 6 to 8 are the MACHA playoffs. So mark your calendars because Missouri has clinched not just those playoffs, but the first seed in those playoffs. So that's good. As was mentioned by Robert there, your 3 stars of the game, Nicholas Zitzman, Joey Christoffel, and who was the third star? Was that Watson? It was Luke Watson because he got a goal that probably felt like the biggest goal of the game, that one with 0.7 seconds left. I think it would be a different contest if the second period is 1-0 to start. But, yeah, crazy game. Any final thoughts?
Man, I feel like I've said every word in the dictionary tonight,
Yes.
Owen. This has been an absolute treat. We had a blast calling this game, and let's do it again tomorrow. How about it?
Yeah, let's do it. Well, that'll do it for us here. Thank you all so much for tuning in and sticking it out. Really, really do appreciate the support and the views and the comments and everything. And Mizzou Hockey's in a great place because of you guys. So I'm join alongside me, Ian Paparocki, Robert Crumble, doing a heck job tonight dealing with all those penalties, and see you tomorrow.